Hello. Today we'll see some words which will be again through associations. When I say associations, I'll try to bring in some cartoons or probably certain situations which will help you keep these words in your mind for a long time to come. The first such one today is the word ad-lib. The cartoon is a good one and you all must have experienced it sometime during college. The example that has been taken here is that of a play of Romeo and Juliet. Two people, somebody from your school or your college, while enacting, must have forgotten the original dialogues, or probably somebody is over enthusiastic in giving some additional dialogue. Either which ways, the one who is at the receiving end has this whole expression of this was not a part of the script. That is something we call as ad-lib. We all must have heard words like ad hoc. Ad hoc is also something which is a temporary arrangement. Similarly, ad-lib, by the word if we want, is to speak or perform in public without previously preparing one's words. That is ad-lib. On the first side though, along with the pic, we had written ads with liberty. That means somebody who just puts in through his words then and there on the contemporary emotions. Other words here are words like impromptu, extempore, spontaneity or offhand, or even the word off the cuff. Again, these words are also separate from each other. When I say the word impromptu, sometimes your reactions could be impromptu. That is on the spot, and how you should have reacted on the moment is not something that you could have planned. Whereas ad-lib is something that happens when you had planned it, but it does not go along the way. Extempore, you all must have seen some competitions of extempore wherein you're given a random topic and you're supposed to speak. At least you're mentally ready for preparing or speaking on some extempore. In ad-lib, it just happens because of the basic nature of the person who is delivering the dialogue. Spontaneousness, yes, that is there. Off the cuff is something it was more or less a not planned remark. Off the cuff are remarks which we just tip off as casual behavior. That's off the cuff. Ad-lib is on the stage or while performing. Yes, there the intensity is greater. The next word that we see is very commonly seen across colleges. A particular student, if he is not getting a good grade, he is bound to go back and curse a couple of faculty members or probably go on and curse the whole grading system itself. This full of menace kind of a behavior is by the word fulminate. Fulminate is a personal character wherein he goes on and expresses a vehement protest to something which he thinks he is against. Fulmination could be wherein he goes, every new student generally feels that college does all the experiments only on him. If he goes up to the extent of going and protesting against it, that is where the word fulminate comes into picture. Natural replacement could be the word protest. Sometimes a little extreme, but rage is also there. A thunderstorm kind of a behavior can also be put in. Condemn, decry, denounce, revile, upbraid, these are certain words which very contextually specific can be replaced, though they do not mean an exact meaning for the word fulminate. Fulminate means to express vehement protest. Another one is the example of bullying. The word here is disdain. Oh, we do know certain cricket matches wherein we've heard the word Galestorm very commonly. Somebody who just treats bowlers with utter disdain. We sometimes even lightly use the word with not so much of respect. Disdain is dizzying and daring. A person like a Gale, when he walks in, he has that magnanimous presence and a fearful one for the bowlers. That is where we say he deals with disdain. The cartoon shown here is that of a senior treating a junior, probably on a basketball court. He's playing, that small kid would have come and started putting a couple of baskets. The next reaction from the senior is that you won't be safe if you're doing it. That is treating with a lot of disdain. Disdain is contempt. The sentence probably is an aristocratic disdain for manual labor is something we see very commonly these days. Other words here are words like deride, scorn, despise, rebuff, snub, or even disparage. All these words do mean expression of contempt or hatred. The next word which is given is the word conflagration. Conflagration is controversial flag action, and there's a very funny cartoon of a person burning down a flag, but conflagration does have burning in it. The actual meaning is an extensive fire which destroys a great deal of land or property. Why have we used the cartoon of a flag is because the word has flag in it, and conflagration is burning down something that destroys property or a great deal. That is conflagration. Genuine replacement in some scenarios can be the word fire, flames, blaze, arson, holocaust, or even a firestorm. Arson, though, is niche to somebody expressing his way of revenge through burning down property. That is arson. At a very national level, the word firebombing could also be used, but otherwise a conflagration means an extensive fire which destroys a great deal of land or property. The next cartoon is that of vilify. Vilify has the word villain in it. Vilify is villainify, which means to speak or write about in an abusively disparaging manner. Here we can see is that one particular candidate in college elections would have put his photograph and written "vote for me." There's somebody who wants to vilify this photograph. He goes, puts in some random photos, and instead of "vote for me," he writes "don't." That is vilify, to talk in an abusively disparaging manner. For example, in a sentence like this, the media vilified several of the election candidates just because nearly everyone had some past. That is vilify. Other words here are words like disparage, denigrate, revile, berate, belittle, scorn, or even to rail against somebody. These words are not exact replacement of vilify, but are the words which can be easily used contextually. The words that we saw today are vilify, conflagration, disdain, fulminate, and ad-lib. Along with that, certain words which were distantly related to these words. Happy reading. Thank you.